Am I the a-hole for asking my sister's new boyfriend to leave my house after he made inappropriate comments about my career? So I, 32M, own a cozy 3-bedroom house in the suburbs. One of the bedrooms is a guest room that my family and close friends often use when they visit. My younger sister, Rachel, 28F, recently started dating a guy named Mark, 29M, and she seemed really excited for me to meet him. This past weekend, Rachel asked if she and Mark could stay at my place while they visited for a few days. I happily agreed because I trust Rachel's judgment and was curious to meet her new boyfriend. Things started out fine. Mark seemed friendly enough during the initial introductions. But later that evening, during dinner at my house, things took a weird turn. While we were chatting about our jobs, Mark asked me what I did for a living. I work remotely as a freelance graphic designer, and I explained how I enjoy the flexibility and creativity of my work. Mark smirked and said, "Oh, so you're basically unemployed." I thought he was joking, so I chuckled and replied, "Not quite. I actually do pretty well for myself." But he didn't drop it. He went on to say how freelancing is just a fancy way to avoid committing to a real career and that people like me waste their potential. Rachel looked visibly uncomfortable and tried to change the subject, but Mark kept pressing, saying stuff like, "You know, people your age should be thinking about stability and contributing to society." I finally told him, "I think you've said enough," and excused myself from the table to cool down. After dinner, I pulled Rachel aside and told her I wasn't comfortable with Mark staying at my house anymore. I felt disrespected, and I didn't want to deal with more of his judgmental comments. She apologized for his behavior, but asked me to reconsider because they didn't have anywhere else to go. I told her she was welcome to stay, but Mark needed to find another place. When I told Mark directly, he got defensive, claiming I was overreacting and couldn't handle a little constructive criticism. He even suggested that I was insecure about my career, which pushed me over the edge. I stood my ground and insisted he leave. Rachel ended up leaving with Mark, and now she's upset with me, saying I embarrassed her and overreacted to a few harmless comments. My parents are divided. My mom thinks I was right to set boundaries, but my dad feels like I should have let it slide to avoid drama. So Reddit AITA,